Hello there guys and welcome to another episode here in Speedmix Racing for round number 5 here in Great Britain. So I am using now a new camera angle to drive the F1 car, and I'm using the Jarno Opmeer one, the one that I have been saving it from June. So yeah, I haven't used it until now, which at that time was on December 1st. So yeah, it was lots of months that I haven't used that, and I was just storing that thing, and I wasn't having the will to use it until November 30th, which I decided to do some practice laps in time trials, and well, I'm just getting used of it, but hope it goes pretty well with that thing. As I am now leaving the garage, you're going to see the new camera angle that I'm going to use from now, and there it is. Hope I perform well, and at first let's do a great qualifying session. So now getting into bell and breaking down 4th gear and not getting so confident entering that club, and we set a lap time of 1:26.261, which for now puts us into P2. Arti Moreno is on provisional pole with a time of 1:25. I think he's on a mid 25s, maybe in the high 25s, but he was just way faster than me, and now I dropped to P3 because Noe set a faster lap time than me, but he hasn't set a faster lap time than Arti Moreno, and so he qualified second. And let's see how many places he'll drop down, and also how many places will I drop down. And also the question is if Arti Moreno will stay on that provisional pole position and convert this into an actual pole position, or maybe some drivers will challenge him. Well, let's find out. And now heading into Beckett's, exiting Beckett's and entering Chapel, we see that we somehow managed to get the fastest sector 2. I don't know how, but overall we're improving by 2 tenths. That is surprising for me because I am on used soft tires, well, as I know. But heading into well, I just ran wide, terrible cornering I've done. Angel Roberto sets the fastest lap for now. The Alex is out of the race, the session, and we set lap time improving by just 400 because of that terrible mistake I've done in Bell, and that costed also club. So yeah, I could have improved by like a tenth or maybe 2 tenths, but instead I just improved by 400. So the Alex is out of this session. I was saying mistakenly that he was out of the race, but no, he's out of the session. This is not the race, this is the qualifying session. And yeah, I was a bit surprised that I was really fast with those used softs, but I was just seeing if I had made that mistake, I could have jumped Nube and got up into 4th place, which is now because my teammate Marco La Paz has set a lap time good enough that place him into 2nd place. So well, at least I have another chance to set another lap time, and then this time it is going to be the 2nd set of soft tires, because remember that I have chosen the pallet set of tire location. Although I was about to choose the softer tire location, but I decided to go with the balanced ones just in case there is some rain in the qualifying. So yeah, I decided to go for it. But well, it is going to be dry in both sessions, so well, that might be a case where in a safety car it gets deployed in certain laps that I have to go with 2 mediums, but I don't see it as a problem because it is one of the slowest pit lanes of all the circuits that has pit lanes. Well, at least in Formula 1, but yeah, Silverstone has one of the slowest because it is having like 60 kilometers per hour as the speed limit, so it is quite slow. And also, I think you lose like 30 seconds, so yeah, it is not worth it to do 2 stops unless there is a safety car in certain laps that it is going to be notoriously possible that you need to do 2 stoppers. Maybe if you gamble that there are 2 safety cars on those specific laps. So now we have entered the garage and we just... Man, that was the reason why I was really fast. In reality, I was using this second set of soft tires. So yeah, guess I'll use all of my soft tires in this qualifying and I'll have no new softs for the race. Yeah, that is just some tough luck there. We set a lap time of 1:26.17 on that second one, although yeah, I could have set like 1:26.10 or maybe into the 1:26 zeros, but yeah, I made that mistake on Valve. But at least we have another chance to do a flying lap, but that means that we have to use the third set of soft tires and thus not having any new softs for the race. So yeah, I need to pray that there is no safety car that needs to box for softs. What I'm speaking is that hope there is no safety car, for example like lap 20 of 26, because on those laps most players box for soft tires because, well, you know, it is a safety car, you want to take advantage of it, and because there's just a few laps to go and soft tires last like 8-10 laps, I don't know, maybe 8, they will box, and yeah, hope they don't deploy safety cars on those laps. Yeah, sorry for speaking very badly early on, but yeah, I don't want to do another recording, so yeah, apologies to that. So let's move on to our third and final flying lap. Alright, so now we are about to begin the third and final flying lap. We cross the line to begin this, and we now head into Abbey, the right hand side corner, and we are seeing that we are not improving by much, but heading into like Village and the loop, I think so. We're now improving by over 10th, but unfortunately a terrible exit into the loop and also not a good cornering in entry made just overall improve by a few thousandths of a second. But exiting left field, we see that we are overall improving now back to 1/10 of a second, and we are about to head tops, and it is going to be a tough corner to dominate it. We do it perfectly, well, not perfectly, but pretty well, but we head into the Baggots and Beckett's corners. We see that Artimodono has set the provisional pole. We open DRS and we somehow managed to set the fastest sector 2. I don't know, maybe most players have the setup that sacrifices sector 2. We see that on Stowe we took a different line, and the line we took in this lap was better than the one we did on the second one, and we overall improved by 4 tenths and we crossed the line. I don't know which position we get. It is going to be 6th position. Nah, man, 4 tenths gain only for 6th position. No, that's not that good. We see that our teammate, who is using his LLXA account, out qualified us, and it is a third row lockout for Mercedes. But it would be if Jordan didn't have a 5-place grid penalty. So yeah, Jordan will begin in 8th place, and that means that Angel Ruperto will begin in 3rd, my teammate in 4th, and I'll begin in 5th place. Arti Moreno sets pole position, followed by Fer Tapia. So Arti Moreno might be the only guy to beat Fer Tapia. I don't know how he will go in the race, but let's see. Meanwhile, Nove will begin in 6th place by Dalton's penalty, and well, hope you have seen the top 14 qualifiers, because I haven't speak about the other drivers that qualified 8th and lower. But now, let's head into the pre-race strategy. Here we are, and we are now changing our strategy. I decided to start on mediums instead of starting on hards. So yeah, I decided to first change the strategy from hard medium to medium hard, and so I am doing that thing. So the strategy will be that I'll box 4 hards in lap 13, and here we see that we lowered the field down to 48.5. So yeah, the 5 red lights will turn on. They have turned on, and we are on the way for the 5th round in Speedwex Racing. And surprisingly, we have a good start, and we head into Abbey, overtaking my teammate, and we get into 4th place. That is just pretty good for us. And we head into Village. We see that El Manca is out of the race. That is just pretty bad for him. We see that Ruperto has got a terrible loop, and we get into 3rd place. That is just pretty good, but unfortunately Ruperto will overtake us, and I decided to not give him lots of power for him, because of course he's faster than me, and I don't want to lose a lot of time battling with him, because I think that'll end up worse. But yeah, the reason why I got a pretty good start is because my teammate began on hards and I began with mediums, so I meant that I got a better start because I had more grip. And we see that my teammate is down to 6th place, and I am having the pressure of being overtaken by Nube. So I decided to defend, but I decided to not defend that much because I need to manage a bit of my ERS. And we head into stall. I decided to go for the inside. The good thing is that Nube didn't go well with me, but Nube is just overtaking me into Bell. I decided to leave him space, and we exit club and begin lap 2. Arti Moreno sets the fastest lap, and we see that Nube is trying to overtake me. Maybe he's going for it into the village, but he didn't go for it. That's a good thing for me. And we exit the loop to enter entry, and then getting into the Wellington Straight. We see that the gap between Nube and myself is 0.7 seconds. I don't know what happened to Nube, but that's a good thing for me because I'm having less pressure of being overtaken by Nube. So for now, let's maintain our 4th place. But on the very next lap, we see that Jolton overtook Nube, and he's overtaking me around the outside into stall. But I am trying to defend my position, but unfortunately I could not defend successfully. And oh my goodness me, I almost spun because I locked my rear brakes, and I just lost much confidence heading into club. But we begin lap 4. The good thing is that we get DRS from Jolton, so that means that I can maintain my 5th place from Nube. And oh no, that's not good. We did a terrible loop, and Nube, because of it, overtook me, and we are down to 6th place, and behind me is my teammate. So I am a bit stressed that I need to let my teammate pass me, but I decided to maintain my place. We don't have much communication with my teammate and myself. I don't know what's happening, but I decided to maintain my place, and I try to be as fast as possible so I can deserve that 6th place. And with that, I am deploying much of my ERS to see if I can overtake Nube, but we are seeing that we are forming a DRS train. I don't know, but maybe it is the thing that we are forming now, but maybe we can break it and overtake Nube and get back to 5th place. And I'm getting closer and closer with him, but I decided to not overtake him right now. We are on lap 5, and I decided to wait until the Wellington Strait, maybe into the Hangar Strait, to overtake Nube. But we head into the village and the loop, and we see that Nube is like 3 times ahead of me. I deploy DRS, although that's not the words I have to say, but I should have said that I had DRS. But now we are into lap field and heading into Woodcote. We see that the gap between Nube and myself is just 2 tenths, so maybe I can overtake him, but I decided just to wait a little bit. But that means that my teammate is just getting, like, I think he's getting a bit more frustrated that I am not letting him pass. I don't know, maybe he might be faster than me and overtake Nube before I don't know. But we see that Nube is overtaking Jordan down the inside into the Hangar Strait, but Jordan could not defend successfully, and he's down to 5th place, and Nube gets back into 4th place. I don't know if he was in 4th, maybe not, but if he was, he is back to 4th place. So that means that I am going to overtake Jordan, and we are on lap 6. We see that Adifo has spun and he's down the order, and that meant that Admiral the Boss is up into 8th place. And we see that Jordan got a different line into loop, and we had entry, exit that corner, head into Wellington Strait. DRs now opened, and Jordan tries to overtake down the inside into Brock lines. He's done it, and he gets back to 4th place, and Nube gets down to 5th place. I don't know, I decided to let them fight, and I'm maintaining my 6th position. And on the very same lap, we are on the Hangar Strait, and we see that Nube is trying to overtake Jordan down the inside into Stowe, and he is back to 4th place, and Jordan tries to re-overtake Nube into Bell, but oh my goodness me, he's done it successfully, and Nube braked so hard that I just made a bit of contact with him because I was just too close with them. Now we begin lap 7, and we are seeing that it's getting a little bit calmer. I don't know, maybe they'll try to dive bomb, I don't know, but we see that Adifo is out of the race. Here it appeared the message at the bottom of the screen, but he just retired voluntarily. I think he gave up and he retired. They are now open for me, but we see that Nube won't have chances to overtake Jordan, and maybe he has to wait until the Hangar Strait or maybe into the next lap. But for us, let's wait until we have chances to overtake Nube, and chances are referred to real chances and not like lose a lot of time just battling with Nube. And well, no, that is not good. We just exceeded the track limits. I need to be really careful, because if I accumulated 3 warnings, I get a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, this is the first warning. I need to be really careful. I get the RS. I decided to not overtake Nube and instead maintain my 6th place. Maybe I'll wait until the next lap, I don't know, but let's see how the battle goes. But I don't know, maybe Jolton can maintain his 4th place. So yeah, I think it is now time to overtake Nube in the next few corners. And we exit Beckett to enter Chapel. We see that Nube has done a mistake, and that means that I have the chances to overtake Nube, and into the hangar straight we are will to overtake him down the inside into Stowe, and we are up into 5th place, but Nube won't give up, and he is trying to dive on me down the inside to the ball, and he's just squishing me, and I didn't have space to... Oh man, that is the reason why you need to leave space, or else this might happen like Nube and us. Nube just squished me into club, and I didn't have space, or else I would just touch the sausage curve, and well, I did not want to get into the sausage curve, and well, we just crashed, and Nube spun. We overtake the boss because he touched the curve and got terribly into the loop, and we are back to 6th place, but now the gap between Jolton and myself is 4.5 seconds, so yeah, I think we lost like 3 or 4 seconds, and to make things worse, my teammate is behind me, but I don't know, maybe I can deal with that, but let's move on and hope we can recover from this. And exiting Beckett, we see that there's yellow flags, and that is my teammate who has spun, and that is a terrible thing for our team, because that means that I might be the only one who will score points for the race if De La Paz doesn't recover that much. Hope he does, but for us, we are up into 5th place, so that means that we gain 10 points if we maintain that place. The boss has now a 3-second time penalty, so that means that if he overtakes me, he needs to be more than 3 seconds ahead of me in order to really overtake me with the penalties applied. So yeah, he has to do extra effort in order to overtake me officially. And exiting lap 11 to enter lap 12, we just get passed through the pit lane, but the virtual safety car has been deployed. Ah man, just deployed so late that I just got past the pit lane, and yeah, I could have boxed 4 hearts and make a cheap pit stop. Bernie is out of the race, he's retiring, and I'm just presenting his retire of the race. And yeah, as you could see, Bernie was just retiring voluntarily from the race. I don't know, maybe he had other things to do, but well, let's move on and let's match the delta time. Let's not be faster than the delta time, and I was just I just passed it, and yeah, I need to be slow in order to once again be slower than the delta time. It is dangerous because if the virtual safety car ends and you are faster than the delta time, you get a drive-through penalty, and drive-through penalty, although it is like a 20-second time penalty in some circuits, on this Silverstone it is like a 30-second time penalty, or maybe a 35-second time penalty. The virtual safety car has ended, I did not get a drive-through penalty, and we are heading into Stowe, ending the hangar straight, and now the gap between Jolton and myself has become from 5 seconds all the way down to 4.1 seconds at one point. So that means that I have done a great relaunch compared to the driver in front of me, and Enrique Ruperto has a 3-second time penalty, and we see that there is a McLaren who is retiring from the race. I don't know, maybe he has spun, but we are seeing that he is still going to continue this race. Yeah, sorry for mistakenly saying that he's retiring from it. I thought he was, but in reality he has maybe spun and he was trying to regain speed. But remember that we are not 13, and that means that we are boxing for hard tires, because that is what I have chosen for the strategy. So after that, I'll push hard with the hards and hope I don't struggle with the tire wear at the end of the race. So now let's head into the pit lane, but first we need to get through these corners. And now we are in the pit lane, about to change our tires. They're changing my tires, and now we are on the hard tires, and we see that we are down to 6th place, and we see that the gap between the driver who is behind me and myself is getting down to, well, Adbel and Perek7 overtook me, so that means that I'm down to 8th place. Sammy is the driver who is behind me, and the gap between him and myself has become down to just 5.5 seconds. So yeah, that's not a large gap, but also not a small one. So that means that I'm safe of being overtaken by him and being down to 9th place. So let's hit up our hard tires and thus not being so aggressive with those ones, because I don't want to just like abuse those tires when they are just really fresh. I need to smoothly hit up those tires, but smoothly I'm referring to just slightly doing that thing. We see that Vertex7 and Apple both have 3-second time penalties, so that means that I can get into P6 if I am 1 second faster than them with the penalties applied. We are seeing that Alex is out of the race, and that meant that the safety car has been deployed. He is out of the race, and we see that Vertex7 is boxing as well as Adbel. So, well, we see that Yorton is also boxing. So, I don't know, maybe a lot of drivers will box, but we see that Angel Ruperto missed the window. But we see that Fertapia and Nube both are yet to pit, and they are on hards, and I think they might get advantage of it. And I don't know, the drivers who have already made a stop, I think they're screwed up, and I think I'm also included in the list. I don't know, but let's see. And we are seeing that my teammate has gone into the pits, and we are seeing that, oh no way, he's just pretty far behind. I don't know what's happening to him, but yeah, that is pretty bad for my teammate. But let's see, let's wait until we get to the bunch stop field to see how they reacted after this safety car. So now we are on lap 18, we are about to end the safety car period, and we see that the one who are in 2nd and 3rd and 5th and 6th are all mediums. So yeah, that means that I'll have a tough time to overtake these people and try to defend from the ones who are behind me. More if it's Arti Moreno and Anki Ruperto, the ones who are behind me, because they're way faster than me, and also they have the advantage that they're on mediums and I'm on hards. And mediums are referred to fresh mediums because they have boxed, even though they have already made a pit stop, they decide to make another pit stop, and they have new mediums. I am barely to the optimal temperature, just below the optimal temperature, and also I need to be careful because I have gotten another track limit warning, and we see that Arti Moreno is dive bombing me down the inside into village, and I'm down to 5th place. I think he got desperate because he knows that he's faster than me, so he decided to desperately dive bomb him, and I decided to not give him fight because I know he's really fast. I don't know, maybe he might overtake the other drivers and win the race and beat Fertapia. I don't know, but let's see if I can defend from Angel Roberto. So during the safety car, I cut Chapel because I ran wide into Beckett, and we see that into cops. Angel Roberto just making me an overtake around the outside, and he made an absolute risky overtake because I think we just barely made contact, or maybe almost made contact, at least. So yeah, that is one of the riskiest overtake someone has done in the races I have participated and I have saw in my proper eyes, excluding the real Formula 1 races that I have been watching. So yeah, that is a pretty risky overtake. So yeah, Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, so I don't think Artie Moreno will win this race. This lap 20, and the gap between Angel Roberto, who is in front of me, and myself has gotten up to 1.5 seconds, so that means that maintaining my 5th place is going to be hard, but maintaining the 4th place, because Artie Moreno has a 3-second time penalty and he is less than 3 seconds ahead of me, I think it is going to be impossible because, you know, the gap, and I don't think I can maintain my 4th place, and I'll get down to 5th place, but I think I can maintain my 5th place with the penalties applied. So let's do that thing, and we need to be really careful because during the safety car, as I said, one lap early, I was in the safety car weaving my tires, but I ran wide into Beckett's and got off the track, and I cut Chapel and rejoined the track, but the game thought that I was cutting the corner and it gave me a warning because of it. And because corner cutting warnings and track limit violation warnings are just one thing, that means that I have 2 warnings of track limit violation. So that means that if I receive one more warning, I get a 3-second time penalty. And speaking about the penalties, Angel Roberto got another 3-second time penalty. So that means that the task of maintaining 5th place is way easier for me because of it. And now DRS is now enabled, but that won't matter for me because I don't have DRS. But the good thing is that Tachala, the driver who is behind me, is more than a second behind me, so I'm going to calm down a little bit. I don't need to worry much about the driver behind me, and so that means that I can focus more on the driver in front of me. But now on lap 22, we see that Angel Dam is out of the race, and we swap through Maggots and Beckett's, and we exit Beckett's to enter Chapel, but we just ran wide, and oh man, that is just pretty, yeah, it was just pretty annoying that I need to slow down in order to the game not registering as a track limit violation, and thus I had to slow down, and now the gap between Roberto and myself is just more than 7 seconds as the laps passed. But the miracle happened because on lap 25, despite the gap being more than like 7 seconds and thus making Roberto still in 5th place, I think he struggled and made a mistake, and that meant that the gap is now less than 6 seconds, so that means that I'm now up in 5th place with the penalties applied. So yeah, I decided to slow down on Chapel when I was rejoining the track because I did not want to maintain the speed and game registering as a track limit violation, and thus giving me a 3rd warning, and thus giving me a 3-second time penalty because that was the 3rd warning, and if you get 3 warnings, that's a 3-second time penalty. And warnings, I refer to the track limit warnings. If you get like unlimited amount of warnings of making contact or crossing the white line, I think it won't happen to you. Anything, they won't give you a penalty. I don't know how does this works, but yeah, the good thing is that I don't have any penalties yet, and the gap between Roberto and myself is still less than 6 seconds, and we exit club and we begin the final lap of the race. It is getting really tense. I need to be less than 6 seconds, and it is really hard because we are just 5.6 seconds behind Roberto, and I don't think he'll get another 3 time penalty, but still it is just going to be really hard for us because Roberto is faster than us. Maybe it is going to ease our task because of his tire wear, because he's on mediums, and that means that I think he'll get a terrible tire wear. I think he's getting less grip than myself with on hards, and thus making the tire wear less affecting, and the gap is now 5.7 seconds. It is getting way more tense. I was deploying ERS on the Wellington Strait, so I decided to deploy much of my ERS before Margaret and Beckett because I was thinking that without ERS wouldn't be enough still, and we head into the Hangar Strait. I decided to deploy all of my ERS I have, and gap it is just 5.6 seconds, and I need to be less than 6 seconds behind Roberto in order to finish 5th place. Fer Tapia wins the race, and Arti Moreno gets demoted down to 4th place, and Roberto finishes 5th, but I finish in reality 5th because Roberto couldn't manage to be more than 6 seconds ahead of me, and so he got demoted down to 6th place. I finished 5th place. That was a very tough question. I was pretty stressed, and I was just pretty nervous about it, but the good thing is that I could manage to finish 5th, and I think Roberto was just so angry that he decided to quit the match, and yeah, I think he got really angry because he couldn't finish 5th, and yeah. Also, after the race, he claimed that these mistakes he's done was because of the back markers, the ones who are lapped, and I think they annoyed him and made Roberto do mistakes, and also I think that was one of the reasons he got another 3 time penalty. So yeah, that is just a terrible thing for him. Maybe our 5th place isn't secured because they might listen to him and take his penalty away, and thus promoting him back to 5th place, and I'll finish where I finished on track, which is going to be 6th place. I don't know, but I'm recording on Friday, the day after the race, and there are no updates about the post-race penalties. Fertapea wins the race with the fastest lap, followed by Nube, then Jolton, then Arti Moreno, then myself, then Roberto, then Vitalius, then Alan X, then Luis, then Tachala, then Adler Boss, then Vertex7, and the last driver who completed the race was my teammate, who after the race he told us that he got 2 drive-through penalties, and that was the reason why he got a terrible race and finished outside of the points, and it was because of that. Those drive-through penalties cost him the entire race, and he finished last. And yeah, that is terrible for De La Paz, my teammate, but well, at least I could save 10 points. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.